Hello everyone, today is the 1st of February 2022 and it sounds like my exams are approaching so quickly now. I'm feeling quite nervous, I'm feeling quite overwhelmed with all the work that I have been put into. But currently now it's 8:56 a.m. and soon I'm going to start, instead of starting with property law as I did all the time. What I end up doing is that when I start with property law is I take my whole entire day literally to just do property law, so I don't have enough time to do business law, civil litigation or criminal litigation. So I'm going to reverse that. I'm going to start with the business law and then I'm probably going to start with civil because I have not really touched it yet, which is really bad. And also with criminal law, I have done criminal law in terms of note taking, watching the lectures and understanding what is going on in terms of topics. But with civil, I've completely disowned that literally. So I'm going to start doing that as well today, hopefully. And another thing that I wanted to share with you all is that yesterday I could not film much because yesterday I did wake up a bit late, which is 8:30 a.m. and I just wanted to sleep in for some reason, and my body was not really willing to move itself and go to university basically. So I just went to a Costa next to my house and I just worked there, but it was so effing cold. It was so cold because I was literally sitting next to the entrance, and when people would come in they would open the door and then the air would literally just jump on you and try to like suffocate you in a way, and my legs were feeling so cold. So I could not stay in that Costa for too long. I just came back home at 12 and that was the best decision ever. And I just started working at home, and that was amazing because I still remember in my LLB years when most of the time will be spent at home and barely at university or going outside. But with this postgraduate degree is a completely different. I barely stay at home and now most of the time in the university. And the main reason is because I have so much printing to do. So I feel like if I can just print it off, study here without any family interruptions or anything, that's a really good way for me to really revise. And also it puts me into that mode of studying because I cannot really waste my time in university. So basically that's pretty much it. And today, as I said, I'm going to try and do all of the modules, revision and stuff. In terms of drafting, I am feeling quite scared because I thought, looking at the facts, I thought it was going to be easy. I thought it was going to be, but it's actually very hard, and not everyone knows what they're talking about. And it's not that I've discussed it with anyone, but I know many people, I have a gut feeling that many people are not getting it. So yeah, I'm feeling quite nervous, I'm not gonna lie to you, for drafting, because drafting is also one of the easiest skills. But obviously if you don't know your BLP, which is the business law, then it's going to be extremely hard for you. Another thing that I wanted to mention to you all is that today I'm definitely going to upload my last week's revision vlog that I actually did not upload. I was supposed to upload it yesterday, but again, I didn't go to university. And if you know one thing about universities, that the university's Wi-Fi is really strong. And another thing that I wanted to mention to you all is about my fees. As you already know, if you have watched my YouTube channel for a while now, I've started this almost a year ago or more than that. Then you probably know that in 2020, I was supposed to finish my LPC in September 2022, which is this 2022 or 2021. I'm not sure. 2021. But I did not manage to because it was all online and I hated online so much, and I did not get any one thing. And I didn't also want to spend over 14k just on online because that didn't really make sense to me. I can't even come to the university and campus. So I just paused it. I resumed it back in September 2021. So I'm going to finish hopefully this year in September 2022 my degree. So yeah, basically yesterday I was paying my fees and I was feeling so bad because that's all the fees that I've earned myself, all my savings, and I have to pay so much for this course. And one thing that really bothers me is if I'm paying all of this, my earned, saved up money towards my course, but I don't achieve the grade that I want, and that's going to be very hard on me, and that's going to make me feel so sad. That's the only thing that makes me feel really sad. But other than that, I'm trying my best since I realized that I need to pay myself for all these fees, because the student finance has done their job, they have done whatever they had to do, but now I have to pay myself. That makes me feel really sad, but it also motivates me equally to do my best and not take 1 second for granted. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to start with the BLP, look at the advanced material and try to really gauge what's going on. Yeah, so I'll see you guys after I've done that. Hey guys, so I spent about, I would say many hours? I would say 2 hours or more, 2.5, I would say, studying in BLP. Now I'm gonna have my lunch and I'm gonna watch a movie, of course. And also, before talking about my lunch, what I'm gonna eat, I also wanted to tell you guys that I went downstairs and I just wanted to freshen up and, you know, move my body a little bit because I've been sitting for 2 hours literally. So I went to the toilet and everything, and then I was going to the cafe to buy one of the things that I'm going to show you. And then I saw one of my civil litigation teacher, or my litigation teacher in general, and that was really lovely to see him. He's one of my favorites, and he reassured me that I'm gonna do well, and that was so sweet and heart melting, because at this point in time when you feel like that you're not doing your best, or you might not be doing the right thing, or you might be being very confused about what to do and stuff, if one person tells you at least that they believe in you, they know that you're gonna do well and everything, so that makes me feel really amazing and awesome in a way. So that's the one thing that I wanted to share with you all, and he was really sweet. And he also assured me that if I have any questions about, you know, any topics, if I don't understand certain things, I can always email him, which was again really nice and sweet. So now that I've talked about that, I'm going to share with you all my trusty egg and cress sandwich that I'm going to have. And from downstairs, from the cafe, I got this, which is the chocolate and vanilla cake. That looks really delicious to me. I was not going to buy anything, but then I felt really tempted with this one. And it's £2.45, which is pretty expensive for a slice of cake that looks like this, but it is vegetarian and gluten-free, so that was basically the plus point for me. So I'm gonna watch a movie now, and I'll see you guys when I'm gonna do civil litigation and criminal litigation revision. Hello everyone, today is the 7th of February 2022, and it's around 9:01, and it's basically lunchtime, and I just came into the university, the City Law School, and I'm feeling quite overwhelmed, but at the same time I feel like so many things have changed in my life in the past few days. So the first things first, and the reason why I look there is because people might be passing by. That's a bit weird if they see me talking to myself, but yeah. So one thing that I have definitely changed in my life is the fact that I have stopped going to I've stopped coming to the university as regularly as I used to do before, which is why you might not be able to see a vlog of last week, because I have not done anything much in university, and the routine is always the same. But what has changed in my life is that I have gone back to who I used to be when I was Farzana during my LLB years, especially my third year, how I used to be. So I used to have a very nice structured morning routine. I would do certain things in that morning routine, which I will be sharing with you all maybe in a separate video, what I used to do, maybe when I finish my LPC, hopefully. And I have gone back to that kind of a Farzana. So that Farzana definitely did not come to the university every single day and study for 8-9 hours, because that's not who I was. And I was becoming in a rut. I was basically feeling like I'm in a rut, and I'm doing things the same time every single day, coming here, rushing in to see if there's anyone who's going to take my place in this room or something like that. So you might feel like you're in a rut, in that competitive mode as always, which is really good for certain things in your life, but at some point it becomes really toxic. So for that reason, I just took Saturday, Sunday off, in terms of not that I didn't do any education work, because that would be very bad, but what I stopped doing is forcefully taking myself and coming here to study. I feel like if I just stay at home for the most part of the morning, for example, it makes me feel really good. It makes me feel really energized. And I feel like now that it's the exam season, everybody's literally rushing into the library, and it's getting very crowded, and that makes me feel really suffocated as well, because I see so many people working, and if I'm not working at that moment, then I feel really suffocated. So I don't really like staying at home. I don't really like staying in the library for that reason. So yeah, So that's basically pretty much it. That's what I wanted to say. So you might not be able to see like a daily snips or snaps of what I'm doing, because I don't really like sharing what I'm doing at home, because that's very private to me. That's really personal to me, and I cannot really share with you all what I'm doing, because my family is always around me, and they're very private people, and I like to keep them as private as possible from my YouTube channel, because that's not about them, unless if they voluntarily want to agree and they want to come here, but that's a different story. So the second thing that I wanted to talk to you about, now that we've got the routine and vlogs out of the way, another thing that I want to mention with you all about the same topic that I'm talking about is that I'm going to be now that it's the exam season, I'm only going to be vlogging those parts where I've actually done the exam, or the snapshot of how I feel before the exam. During the exam, obviously I cannot film, and after the exam. So that's what I'm going to do for each of the exams that I have remaining now, and that's for me so from property law till PCR, that's what I have to do. So let's start with last week. So this goes back to my last week's drafting exam that I had to submit on Thursday at 4:30, and I was feeling all over the place, because I feel like drafting is such an unpredictable exam, because you don't really know what you're gonna get, but you might have a hint that you might get something that you have already done in your workshops. And that reminds me of actually to write down on my bullet journal that I should be writing a checklist of all the things that I've done for drafting, so that in the future, if I hopefully pass drafting, I can take out those notes and then make a video for you guys really easily. So that's what I'm gonna do after lunch. So how did I feel after? So throughout the whole exam, it's an online submission, so you had a 1 week to do it. I was feeling quite devastated, because at first I was like, whoa, this seems really easy. Like, you know, when you see the facts, you feel like, oh, this is pretty easy. I can do this. But then when you go into write drafting, that's when it gets really hard. And you need to make sure that you're not writing the wrong law, because that's a really big red flag right there. If you're going to fail your exam, if you don't know what law they're talking about and what you have to reference in a way, like which topic it is from business law. I'm doing the business law. So that was really exhausting, very hard. And I think I submitted at 4 p.m. So that was half an hour before, and I was keep checking my work, because I didn't want to submit anything and then realize after submitting that, oh my god, I missed this part. So no, I was never gonna do that. So I checked my work like 10 times before submitting, which anyway you should be doing anyway to do that, because that's a really good practice for proofreading and stuff. And after that, I felt really relieved. I went to Canary Wharf, just had a walk by myself, and I was exploring the new things that I explored on TikTok, and I actually found them to be really interesting. And I didn't film it because there was no point. That was just me time completely. And now, literally in 3 days' time, I have my property law exam. And how am I feeling about it? I feel like with property law, it's in comparison with business law, litigation, and property law. If I had to compare these three, I feel like property law is probably the most lenient, or not lenient, but I don't want to use the word easy, but I would say less challenging. However, because it is less challenging, it can be really hard at the same time, because you might be very lenient in the exam thinking that, oh yeah, I'm writing the right thing, and then you find out in the results day that whatever you wrote was nothing. So I feel like those people who think that property law, a majority of the people in my year think that, you know, property law is so easy and stuff, but I don't believe in that. Just because something is easy doesn't mean that you can just be lenient on it and leave it to the last minute. And yeah, so I'm working really hard on all my subjects except litigation, not gonna lie, because litigation, I don't even know how to organize my notes, and I've actually spoken about this with my teachers, and they just told me to organize my notes in such a manner that in the exam I can just take them out and write my answer really easily. So that's what I'm gonna do now, and that's all I have to say about drafting and my thoughts for property law. I'm probably not going to be coming into the university on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, because I really want to stay at home and get into my routine as I was doing before, because that routine makes me feel so good. And if you have watched my videos 1 year ago, you probably know what kind of a routine I'm talking about, but I will make an updated one for sure. But yeah, now I'm just gonna have my lunch really quickly, and I'm having the Costa's mac and cheese, which I love. And with that, I asked the staff, oh, what is something that you make which is without caffeine. They said chai latte, which I was happy about, so I just got chai latte as well, and I got everything with me. So yeah, so let's get started. Hello everyone, it's the Friday of the 11th of February 2022, and it is currently around 7:20 a.m. and today I do have my property law exam at 10 a.m. till 1:30 p.m. and how I'm feeling about it, I'm feeling quite extremely nervous because this is one of my first written exams for my LPC. Not that I have not done written exams before for law, but this is gonna be one of the longest ones I've done in my whole entire career of law and everything, because it is 3 hours and 30 minutes. That's like ridiculously long. And I've got my notes ready and everything. This is my property law folder that I'm going to be taking today to my exam. I'm also going to be taking the manual, which is basically the book, because you're allowed to take it anyway, so you can take that with you as well. And another thing that I wanted to mention to you all is that I've planned that since I do have 3 hour 30-minute long exam, I do have to eat something a bit heavy before I go there. So what I'm gonna do is go Costa, my local Costa, and order some egg sandwich or something, and with some cappuccino or something, so that I can feel full for longer. But other than that, I'm feeling quite nervous, and I've spoken to my friends yesterday and they're feeling also equally very nervous, which is very understandable. But I believe and I feel that if you have taken notes in such a manner that it's going to be very easy for you to write an answer, it shouldn't be a really big problem. But again, the issue is obviously time management, because I do have to, I think there are going to be about 6 questions which are like long questions, and then multiple choice which are 10, and they're based on freehold and leasehold as well. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go quickly top up my oyster now, and I'll see you guys at Costa. And also after the exam, I'm going to definitely film a vlog about full detail about what happened and everything, how did I feel during the exam, and any quick tips that I can give you guys all straight after the exam. But I'm also feeling equally happy because this is going to be one of those exams that I'm going to get rid of, because then after this one I would have only 4 left, which is the business, civil litigation, criminal litigation, and the PCR. And then as the days are going by, I'm getting closer to my exams, which is making me very nervous, but at the same time I'm happy because all my exams are getting out of the way one by one. So yeah, that's basically the mindset that I'm having right now. So even if I don't feel as nervous, like really nervous, I'm also equally happy that I'm gonna get rid of this. So yeah, so now let's go to top up my oyster. So I just came into my local Costa, and it says it's gonna open about 15 minutes or something, which is so sad. I have to wait now 15 minutes outside, so let's see then. Came back home and I forgot to film a video for myself in terms of my review of what exactly happened after my property law exam, so I have to film it like this, unfortunately. So the exam was extremely different than what I got in my mock, which is why it was very interesting, because some of the questions that came up, it was mostly about the leasehold, and the multiple choice questions because of that were mostly because of freehold. So a lot of writing went into leasehold and barely any writing, not barely, but like a little bit of writing on the freehold section of the paper. And I'm so glad that I actually annotated the lease as much as I could and as detailed as I could as well. But I feel like I made very silly mistakes here and there. I have a gut feeling, and that might actually downgrade what I want to get. So I'm feeling really worried about that. But other than that, I'm just feeling extra motivated to do well in business law, in litigation, and PCR, which are my last 4 sets of exams that I have to do. So yeah, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have my dinner. I'm gonna try and revise as much as I can for my other modules, and because as soon as I finished my property law exam, I was feeling quite drained, quite headachy, so I just came home straight away and I did not delay at all. I tried to socialize with people that came out and were talking about the answers and stuff, but I didn't really want to do that because that was making me even more nervous about what I'm gonna get at the end. And one of the worst things you can ever do is discuss answers with others, but it's very tempting, not gonna lie, because you really want to know, because some people may have got something and then you got something else, and then who is right? No one knows until the results will come out, or the teachers will tell you whether you passed or not. So that's a very, very problematic situation, and I'm just hoping I got the best of the best I can, because I really worked hard on property law. And yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday of the 16th February.